What is up, world? I'm back with another video that kind of help you on your journey on your way. Right now, today, the reason that you click on this thumbnail is to find out which college is right for you. The first thing to ask yourself is academics. This is the reason you're supposed to be going to school. Is this college or is your degree accredited? A lot of different jobs and organizations, other schools for graduate programs won't accept your degree if it's not an accredited degree. The school can be accredited in itself, and also different degrees or different schools within the school, like School of Engineering, School of Nursing, School of Business, can have accreditation. Other thing is the graduation rate, because if you're not graduating, if they have a low graduation rate, then it's like, dang, what's going on between these 4 years that these people supposed to be graduating? Too high means that they just passing anybody through. Private versus public. These schools are kind of similar in the sense. That's why you check out the blog, because the blog kind of go in a little bit more detail. But right now, the biggest things for this video is that private schools are a little bit more prestigious in a sense, usually a little bit more expensive because they do not get any state funding, higher tuition costs, room and board costs, but also they kind of offset that with higher scholarships. Public school a little bit bigger, and they usually have more programs that they offer, more resources, they do get state funding. Choose your poison. The next one is the size of the school. This one's a little bit more important because a bigger school means larger class sizes, but a small type of school can give you a smaller class size, one-on-one relationship between you and your professor, which can be good or bad depending on what you're doing in class. I would say the little tidbit here is that when you have the generic classes like biology, math, literature, history, they're going to be huge because everybody has to take these classes. Once you get into like those little smaller, specific degree-focused classes, that's when the class size really matters. So the next thing is the campus environment. When you're in college, you're usually around the amenities that are in colleges because you're paying for them, so you might as well use them. So do they have like a rec center? Do they have a clinic? Is parking expensive? That's a huge deal right now, like just paying for parking. So different kind of like food places. One thing I really love was just like the gym and using the gym. And most colleges do have a clinic kind of free or reduced for students. The next big thing is just like, are they a commuter school or not? So commuter school is most of the people kind of commute in during the day, take the class, they head out of there after class. So it's kind of like a desert town. So that means if you're living on campus and it's a commuter school, you don't really have anything to do on the weekends or on the nights. One way to kind of get the answer to that question is talk to students. This is the #1 resource you can use when trying to decide which school is right for you. I would talk to current students and also talk to alumni of the school, because current students, they have the first-hand scoop of like, hey, this is what's going on this campus right now. This is what's going on in my classes. They can also give you tips on like what not to do and what to do. Alumni can give you tips on what to do if you actually attend. So alumni have graduated. They have finished everything they need to do in that school to get their degree and head out of there. Usually alumni have like they understand the inner workings of college. They know how to get you around that. So definitely, take some advice from these people. Even if you don't choose their school, they're gonna give you some good, worthwhile advice. The next thing is distance. You can be close to home or you can be far away from home. But I would definitely take this in consideration when choosing your school, because if you're too far away from home, you can only go home a couple times a year maybe, because you have to fly home and all that kind of stuff. So you're left on campus. If you're too close to home, you might never get to kind of grow up and mature in yourselves because your parents are kind of like always around. The age-old question is, how much is this going to cost? I would be doing you a disservice if I did not talk about the cost of attending school. So a lot of great content coming up in the future weeks, how to kind of, combat these costs, but just take this in consideration. Take the cost of the institution into consideration before you sign on dotted lines. Hit the bell and subscribe to the channel so you can get that video when it pops up so you can know how to pay for school. I'm Rob, this is my opinion, here it goes. So one thing that a lot of people don't consider when choosing an institution are the living conditions. Freshmen get either the very nice dorms or they get the very sucky dorms. There's really no in between there. So one of the things that you need to consider is a community or an ensuite bathroom. The other thing would be, don't follow anyone to school. A lot of people say that, but I'm just here as a young person telling you, don't follow nobody to school. Don't follow like a partner or your friends to school. This other thing is, you are not your family. Just because your family went to this state school, your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather or grandmother is like the first student here and got her degree or got their degree here, does not mean you need to go to this school, because you are not your family. You're not your family. You can switch it up and go to the rival school because you just want to be a rebel. But don't go just because your family is forcing you to go to a school. Sports are separate from school. Do not go to the University of whatever just because their football team is really good. Football season is like 12 weeks out of the year. What are you gonna do the other 40 weeks? Physically visit your school. So that's something I did not do when I went to school, college. I did not visit my university before I attend it. Catch something with your eye that you can't really see on like the pictures and Google Maps and all that kind of stuff. So I can only fit so many things in this video. I gave you a little bit more content in the blog, so please check that out in the description box below. If you have any tips to help people choose like their school, comment those down below as well. Thanks and peace out.